Okay, so right now I'm gonna count the 12, and if you can see, this is already folded. So because it's already folded, I want 14 yards of fabric, so I'm gonna count 7 because it's folded already. So this tape is 1 yard. So this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go 1, 2. So this is 7 yards that I just unraveled and it's folded. So I'm gonna cut it. Okay, so now I'm gonna cut the fabric. Okay, so I just cut the fabric, and the next thing I'm gonna do is fold it back. So I'm gonna fold it really neat so it'd be easier for me to cut. And I'm just gonna fold it wide. Okay, so I finished folding it, and I'm gonna fold it again like this. And I'm gonna take my root measuring tape and measure, and I'm just gonna trim off a little bit. I don't want to cut too much off. Okay, so what you see me doing, I'm just trimming the excess off the trim, and I'm gonna measure 10 inches down from where I trim off, and it's already 7 yards, and it was cut in half like double, so I don't need to do 14 yards. So that's what you see me doing, just cutting it. And what I'm going to do, because it was folded in half, I'm going to sew these two together to make one long thing. All right, so that's that. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to open up this twill. Okay, so as you can see, I'm opening another package of twill because I want to do like 2 different colors. So this one, I'm doing the same thing, measuring 7 yards, and it's already folded, so I don't have to go all the way to 14. It's the same thing like before. So just measure 7 yards, and then I'm going to cut the fabric. Okay, so I already trimmed off the ends of it. As you can see, I cut here to make it a little more even. And I'm going to measure 12 inches because I want the skirt to be about 10 inches long. I'm doing for size 3T. So this is about 12 inches. So I'm gonna cut about 12 inches off the skirt. Okay, so I'm gonna sew these 2 fabrics together because I want like 2 different colors of twill. I'll think that'd be pretty cool. So I decided the turquoise, I'm gonna make it longer, and the aqua green, I'm gonna make it shorter. That's what I choose, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew them together. Just put them together. Already cut them and everything. So all I have to do is sew it together and that's it. Just going to sew like 1/2 inch seam allowance. Okay, so I'm going to sew it together and make sure they're lining up. And make sure it's fixed properly. Okay, and now I'm going to start sewing. And go back stitch and start sewing again. Okay, so right here I finished sewing together the two fabrics, and I did not remember that I cut like 7 yards each, so I have to sew them together. If I remember, I would have sewed them together first. And when I mean sew them together, I have to sew them to make it into one fabric, because right now it's 7 yards each. So now I have to put them together to make it 14 yards. So I'm just showing y'all. So I gotta sew these two fabrics together so it will become 14 yards of fabric. But normally I would have done that first before I sewed the whole thing together. So I'm gonna do that right now. Okay, so I forgot to film, but all I did, as you can see here, I just sewed them together to make 14 yards. Okay, so now that I finished doing that part, what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna make a channel and I'm gonna show y'all how I'm gonna do this. Just gotta look for it. Okay. Okay, so you see this? So I sewn the two fabrics together. They're two different colors. So I want to make a channel. So I'm gonna cover it where the stitch is. And my elastic is 1 inch. So I'm gonna sew 1 inch. Okay? All the way down. Sure, it's enough space. Okay, this look like 1 inch. Okay. So back stitch, start sewing, making sure it's 1 inch. And just keep sewing straight down. Okay, so I created a channel for my tutu. As you can see, I made a channel. So now I'm going to just add a ribbon right here. And I'm going to start sewing. electrical tool. So I'm gonna put the other ribbon, which is turquoise. I'm just trimming on the extra piece right now. Okay, so I already did the front. This is the front. So now I'm gonna add the other ribbon to the back. I'm gonna do the same thing. And this time I'm gonna use turquoise instead of aqua for the bottom part.
You trash.
Gonna backstitch it. And I'm gonna start to sew. Okay, so right now I'm gonna put in the elastic. I already measured it, I already burned my ends, so I'm just gonna add the elastic to the skirt right now. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just gonna do this part right here, and I'll see y'all later. Okay, so right now the elastic's in. I already measure it. If you want to know how to measure it, watch my first video on how to do a ribbon tutu. So right now I'm gonna press down on the pressure foot and do a zigzag stitch. Make sure it's zigzag. Okay. I'm gonna go back stitch. And go forward again. Back stitch. Okay. Okay, now I'm just gonna sew the ribbons together. I'm gonna do a straight stitch. gonna back stitch it. Okay. Back stitch, forward, back stitch, back stitch, okay, so I already made my bow. So all I have to do is sew it together. I'm just gonna sew it underneath the waistline, like so. And just grab whatever